Hello, my name is Pano Skrivanos, and I would like to thank you all very much for allowing me to share with you my experiences participating in Indigenous use and occupancy research. In this brief presentation, I'll provide an overview on my background, explain what use and occupancy research is, and describe some of its benefits to Indigenous groups across. First, a little bit about me. I'm a Canadian and I live in Victoria, BC. My academic and professional background is in geography, including Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, forest carbon, and natural resource management. I wear multiple hats. First, I work for the Tsleil-Waututh Nation as their GIS coordinator. The Tsleil-Waututh is one of many groups of Coast Salish peoples who populate the Pacific Northwest, with their traditional territory including much of Vancouver and the surrounding areas north to Whistler. Second, I also participate in use and occupancy research for Indigenous groups across Canada as part of a small team of researchers led by Terry Tobias. Terry is the author of Living Proof, a data collection guide for Indigenous use and occupancy map surveys. The methodologies outlined within this book follow established social science conventions and are what we followed during our research with and for Indigenous communities. Use and occupancy mapping is a data collection method of showing the spatial extent of Indigenous use and occupancy. It's about telling the story of a person's and a community's life on the land. This is achieved by collecting information through interview map surveys with community members who are hunters, fishers, and harvesters, and recording this information through audio, notes, and spatially using large format base maps. Here's one example of a use and occupancy map. This is a single portion of a map biography for Jaco Alulu. Jaco is an inhabitant of Nunavut. The sites shown on this map represent locations where Jaco has done harvesting, such as killed animals to feed his family, or where he has harvested plants, wood, and earth materials for direct family use. Some of these sites also represent different types of cultural sites that either Jaco has himself used or knows have been used by Indigenous people in his lifetime, his parents' lifetime, or his grandparents' lifetime. Here's Jaco's completed map biography, created using a GIS. This map shows the full extent of Jaco's use and occupancy over his lifetime. There are many benefits use and occupancy research provides to Indigenous. Use and occupancy information gives Indigenous leadership the ability to promote high-quality planning and management of resources on their traditional territory. It provides them with solid, scientifically defensible information that can support their rights, title, and interests. It allows groups to state what they know to be true about their traditional lands, using their own voice and independent of government and industry. And resulting land use and occupancy datasets are often used as a key dataset to define protected areas and other areas of traditional Indigenous importance. This work is done to benefit local people, to make their future brighter. And it allows these communities to put their faces back onto their territory and to have a stronger say on what happens on their land. This research has allowed me to travel to places I never would have visited and to work with people I never would have had the opportunity to work with otherwise. I love this work and look forward to working with many more communities in the future. This concludes my presentation on Indigenous use and occupancy research, and I've been asked to post a few questions for you, the audience, to ponder. My first question is, what are the risks to Indigenous communities that are not undertaking this type of research? And second, how will emerging technologies affect this type of research? Thank you very much for allowing me to present. Any questions or comments can be directed to my email address, pano@twnation.ca. The next presentation will now be given by Kelly Graves. Kelly is pursuing a Master's of Applied Science and is studying under ice mixing in an Arctic lake, Lake Kilpisjärvi, I hope I said that correctly, which is located in northwestern Finland. This past summer, She participated in a workshop that took place in Iqaluit, Nunavut, called the Arctic Waters Workshop, hosted by the Canadian Water Network. Kelly will discuss how Indigenous knowledge can be incorporated into Arctic engineering research. The title of her presentation is Walking on Thin Ice, My Experience in the Arctic.